Beauty is undefined. That girl with the perfect smile, that man helping the elderly woman across the street, the way honeysuckle smells like your grandmother. Everything has a beauty to it, though we don't always see it. I know I didn't. I was raised in a two-parent household by my loving mother and father. As a child, I was very friendly, too friendly, in fact. I wanted to befriend everyone I met and succeeded often. When we were kids, it only took a smile and a brief introduction to become friends. When I got to middle school, I noticed the girls with many friends looked different than I did. They had curves, feminine clothing, and painted smiles. Rather than permitting me to look like that, my father put me in football and my mother dressed me like an athletic boy. The more I realized I would never fit in with those friendly girls, the less friendly I became. I developed the symptoms of depression and my previous freckled grin became a pale frown. I would lie to myself saying, "You don't deserve friends. That's for the beautiful people. You should just die already." I'm aware now that isn't true. Everyone deserves the feeling of community, but when other people your age are telling it to you too, it becomes logic. At the end of middle school, I learned my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. It's weird how something so severe as cancer can end depression so promptly. All those nights staring at the roof wishing I could make friends became nights staring at the roof wondering how someone could deserve such a slow and painful death. Instead of excitement for my first job, being able to drive, my first love and heartbreak, I had fear for blood transfusions, a rainbow of pills, and my mom's too soon death. I stopped living to make myself happy and started living to serve my mom. I dedicated most of my free time to activities I knew she'd be proud of me for. My mom was like me, self-conscious to the point of foolishness. However, no matter what, she kept a smile on her face, even while crying at the loss of her hair. Our faces reflected hers, smiling on the surface but a wounded soul on the inside. Those smiles were lies. I wouldn't have believed any of us could smile happily again. As her body and mind degraded, my mother stopped caring how others perceived her. Her death was calm, peaceful, and shattered my family. We were numb with emotion but had to continue our living lives best as possible. At the memorial service were a lot of people I didn't recognize. While I was introducing myself to one of them, I started crying for the fourth or fifth time that morning. I started to apologize for interrupting myself, mumbling, "I must look like a mess," but the lady smiled and shook her head. She touched my cheek, gently wiping a tear away, and replied, "Nonsense, in this moment you are beautiful and strong," which caused me to smile through the tears and hug her. She has no way of knowing, but that comment drastically affected my life. I still worry sometimes about what people think about me, but it's different. I'm different. I know that everyone has opinion, but you don't need to take every opinion seriously. I tell myself the same thing each morning that I have for the past year and 5 months. Be beautiful today. One of the hardest things to do after a family death is act normal, but that's what I did January 3rd, 2012, the first day back to school. My friends were kind enough not to mention it to me much. I'm forever grateful for that. Normally people would be somber, wiping away tears and avoiding others as much as possible, but I didn't do that. I was dried-eyed and warm-hearted, mostly from the sympathy hugs I got from people, even people I didn't think cared about me. That first day back I smiled, not the lying smiles from the hospital, and not the joyous smiles from my childhood. The smile was one for strength and motivation because I knew it was the brave thing to do. How did I know? I saw the same one on my mom's face when we said goodbye for what ended up being the last time. Smiles are beautiful. This I believe.